Good morning, students. I am Samatha, lecturer in chemistry, JDC Oman Hussaini Alam. In last class, we have completed nomenclature of coordination compounds and isomerism in coordination compounds. In next topic is bonding theories in coordination compounds. Okay, most important bonding theories are generally four types of bonding theories are there. One is valence bond theory, that is VBT, and next is crystal field theory. Crystal field theory, in shortcut CFT. CFT means crystal field theory. And third bonding theory is ligand field theory, and fourth is the molecular orbital theory. Okay, these are the important theories which are present in coordination compounds. And first is valence bond theory, VBT. This valence bond theory was proposed by Linus Pauling, scientist, in 1931. The valence bond theory satisfactorily explains the structure and magnetic properties of large number of coordination compounds. Okay, according to this valence bond theory, most of the complex compounds structures, means geometry of complex compounds and magnetic properties of metal ions are explained. And salient features of the valence bond theory is, the first feature is the central metal atom or ion has the required number of vacant orbitals for accommodating the electrons donated by the ligands. The number of vacant orbitals is equal to the coordination number of the metal ion for a particular complex. Okay, first feature of valence bond theory is what? The central metal atom or ion, compulsory that metal should have vacant orbitals. For what purpose? Ligands donates the pair of electrons. Each ligand donate one pair of electrons, so to receive that electrons, the central metal atom should have empty orbitals or vacant orbitals to accommodate the electrons donated by the ligands. The number of vacant orbitals is equals to coordination number of the central metal atom. Coordination number means what? The metal, how many bonds formed in central metal atom, based on that, that number of vacant orbitals that metal should contain. Means coordination number means maximum number of bonds formed by the central metal atom. Okay, according to that number only ligands donate the electron pairs and form bonds with the central metal atom. So the number of vacant orbitals should equal to the coordination number of the metal. And here the vacant orbitals are, it may be s orbital, p orbital, d orbital and f orbitals. And next, this vacant orbital goes hybridization to form same number of hybrid orbitals. Okay, first vacant orbitals are present in metal na, s, p, d and f orbitals. First these vacant orbitals overlapped with each other and does hybridization and form same number of hybrid orbitals. Okay, for example, sp3 empty orbitals are there, one s orbital and 3 p orbitals are there. So that s and 3 p orbitals are hybridized with each other and undergo hybridization and form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, how many vacant orbitals undergoes hybridization? Same number of hybrid orbitals will form. Each ligand has at least one orbital containing lone pair of electrons. Okay, here each ligand is having at least one lone pair of electrons. Vacant hybrid orbital filled with ligands to form coordination bond. Okay, metal is having vacant hybrid orbitals na, so that vacant hybrid orbital receive one pair of, each vacant orbital receives one pair of electrons from the ligand and form one coordination bond. And coordinate bond is stronger if the overlapping between the orbitals is greater. Okay, that coordination bond is stronger when that overlapping between orbitals is greater, then that bond also should greater or stronger. And that vacant orbitals of the metal atom or ion undergo suitable hybridization to yield a set of equivalent hybrid orbitals of definite geometry. Okay, here for example, orbitals of cobalt plus 3 ion we are taking. Here outer electronic configuration is 3d8, 4s0, 4p0, and 4d also 0. Here vacant orbitals are these outer orbitals all are vacant orbital. Here for example, this cobalt hybridization, sorry, coordination number is 6. So here we have to take 6 empty orbitals, 1 4s orbital, 3 4p orbitals, and 2 4d orbitals. So these from here to here we are taking empty orbitals. The vacant orbitals of the metal atom or ion undergo suitable hybridization and to yield a set of equivalent hybrid orbitals. Here 6 empty orbitals or 6 vacant orbitals undergo hybridization and form 6 hybrid orbitals. These 6 hybrid orbitals receives 1 pair of electrons from the each ligand and form 6 coordinated bonds around the central metal atom. Here geometrical shape depend upon the hybridization of the metal orbital. Okay, here the shape of the complex compound or geometry of the complex compounds is depends upon the hybridization of the central metal. Okay, according to valence bond theory only. For example, here coordination number, here Cn is the coordination number, here hybridization, and here molecular geometry, here example of complexes. Okay, let us discuss one by one. If coordination number is 2, the hybridization is sp hybridization. Okay, one s orbital and one p orbital will participates in hybridization and form two sp hybrid orbitals. And the molecular geometry or the structure of the complex is linear. Okay, if coordination number is 2, if hybridization is sp hybridization, the structure of the complex is linear. Example complexes are diamino silver complex and dicyano silver complexes. Okay, these two are having sp hybridization and linear structure. Okay, this is completely based on valence bond theory. Okay, next is coordination number is 3, hybridization is sp2 hybridization. The shape of the complex is trigonal planar shape. Example complex is triiodo mercury complex. If the coordination number is 4, sp3 hybridization, the structure of the complex is tetrahedral complex, and examples are number of examples are there, that is nickel tetracarbonyl and tetraamino zincate 2 complex, and tetra halonickelate 2 complex, and tetrahalo metal complex, and here tetracyano-cadmium and tetrachloroferrate and tetrachlorocuprate complex. Okay, these all are having sp3 hybridization and tetrahedral structure. Okay, if coordination number is 4, there are two possibilities are there. One is sp3 hybridization and another one is the dsp2 hybridization. Okay, dsp2 hybridization means here one d orbital, one s orbital, and two p orbitals are participates in hybridization. So here the structure of the complex will changed. If 4 coordination number sp3 hybridization, then structure of the complex is tetrahedral. But same 4 coordination number dsp2 hybridization, the structure of the complex is square planar. So example complexes are tetracyanonickelate 2 complex, tetraamino nickel complex, and tetraamino platinate complex, tetrachloroplatinum complex, and tetrachloropalladium complex is there, and diamino dichloroplatinate complex and tetrachloro palladium and tetraamino copper complex is there. Okay, these all are examples for square planar complexes. Okay, if the coordination number is 5, the hybridization is dsp3 hybridization. Okay, 1 d orbital, 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals are participates in hybridization. The structure of the complex is trigonal by pyramidal. Okay, dsp3 hybridization means structure is trigonal by pyramidal. Complexes are pentachloro copper complex is there, and ferrous pentacarbonyl complex is there. Okay, these all example for trigonal by pyramidal shape. And next is, if the coordination number is 6, the structure hybridization is sp3d2 or d2sp3 hybridization. Next, the structure of the complex is octahedral complex. Examples are hexacyano ferrate complex or hexaamino cobalt complex and hexacyanochromium complex. All are example for octahedral complexes. Okay, if the coordination number is 6, hybridization is d2sp3 or sp3 d2 hybridization, octahedral geometry. Okay, this is based on the shape of the complexes based on hybridization. Next is, if n minus 1 into d orbitals are used for hybridization, the complexes is called inner complexes and called for example nd orbitals are participates in hybridization, then that is called as outer complexes. Okay, according to valence bond theory, in hybridization inner d orbitals are, if inner d orbitals are participates in hybridization, that complexes are called as inner complexes. Means here for example 3d orbital is there and outside 4d orbital is there. Okay, this 3d orbital is called as inner orbital and 4d is the outer orbital. Okay, if hybridization, for example this inner d orbitals will participates in hybridization, then that complexes are called as inner orbital complexes. And these are also low spin or spin paired complexes. These are also called as low spin complexes or spin paired complexes. If these 4d orbitals are participates in hybridization, then those are called as outer orbital complexes. And these are also known as high spin complexes or spin free complexes. High spin or spin free complexes. And when strong field ligands like NH3, when strong field ligands like amine ligand or CN minus ligand are involved in the formation of complexes, they causes pairing electrons present in metal ions. This process is called as spin pairing. Okay, for example strong field ligands, if strong field ligands are involved in the formation of complexes, in presence of this strong field ligands, unpaired electrons will get paired. So this process is called as spin pairing. For example, if any 3d5 system is there, 3d5 system is having d orbitals, all the 5d orbitals is having one unpaired electrons. Okay, if strong field ligands are involved, then that unpaired electrons will get paired up. So again that orbital, that d orbitals are, two vacant orbitals are present. So this process is called as a spin pairing process. and structure of complex compounds based on valence bond theory. Okay, the structure of nickel tetracarbonyl complex and formation of tetrachloronickelate 2 complex and structure of tetracyanonickelate 2 and structure of hexafluorocobalt complex and hexaamino cobalt 3 complex. Okay, based on valence bond theory, we have to possess the structure of these following compounds. And first is formation of tetrachloronickelate 2 complex. Here the oxidation state of nickel is +2. Each chlorine ion donate pair of electrons, means 2 electrons will donated by the each chlorine. Here nickel atomic number is 28, so the outer electronic configuration of nickel is 3d8 4s2. Okay, 3d8 4s2 means here orbitals of nickel +2. Okay, pure nickel is 28 atomic number and outer electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. When this nickel formed into ionic state, then that is converted to nickel +2. Nickel +2 means here oxidation state of nickel is +2, so we have to remove 2 electrons. The 2 electrons we have removed from 4s orbital, so here 3d8 4s 0. Okay, here 3d8 electrons are present like this. Okay, starting 3 d orbitals are paired up and 2 d orbitals are having unpaired electrons. Okay, one electron is there. Around the nickel, how many ligands are present? 4 ligands are present. So here central metal atom should accommodate the 4 vacant orbitals. Okay, what are the 4 vacant orbitals here? 1 4s orbital and 3 4p orbitals are present. So these 4 empty orbitals or vacant orbitals undergo hybridization and form 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, these are the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. So here in the formation of complex, these 4 chlorine atoms or 4 chlorine ligands approaches the central metal atom and donate 4 pair of electrons to the nickel and form 4 coordination bonds. So here 1 chlorine, 2 chlorine, 3 and 4 chlorines are will donate 4 pair of electrons to the nickel and form 4 coordination bonds. Okay, this is the orbital structure of tetrachloronickelate 2 complex. Okay, here this is the actual nickel electronic configuration 3d8 4s2 and 4p0. When it is converted to nickel +2 ion, 3d8 is there, 4s0 and 4p0 is there. So here but here 2 complexes are there, tetracyanonickelate 2 is there and tetrachloronickelate 2 is there. Okay, both complexes are in structure, both complexes are different because here Cn minus ligand is the strong field ligand and chlorine is the weak field ligand. So in presence of chlorine, here there is no rearrangement of electrons, so 3d8 electrons are as it is present. In hybridization, 4s orbital and 3 4p orbitals are participate. So in tetrachloronickelate 2 complex, sp3 hybridization is formed. But in tetracyanonickelate 2 complex, here cyanide is the strong field ligand. In presence of the strong field ligand, unpaired electrons will get paired up. So here 3d8 electronic configuration is there na. So here last 2 3d orbitals are having unpaired electron. So in presence of this Cn minus ligand, this electron is shifted to another d orbital and get paired up. So here one of the 3d orbital is vacant. So in this particular complex, 3d orbital is one vacant orbital is there. So this 3d vacant orbital will participates in hybridization. So in this complex the hybridization is what? DsP2 hybridization. Okay, how many ligands are there? 4 cyanide ligands are there. So metal should accommodate 4 vacant orbitals. One is 3d orbital, one is 4s orbital and 2 4p orbitals. So here hybridization is DsP2 hybridization. Okay, according to valence bond theory, coordination number is 4, hybridization is DsP2. Then what is the structure of the complex? Square planar complex. So tetracyanonickelate 2 complex, tetrachloronickelate 2 complex are having same coordination number, but hybridization and structure is different. Okay, tetracyanonickelate 2 complex is having DsP2 hybridization, square planar structure, and tetrachloronickel complex is sp3 hybridization and tetrahedral structure. Okay, that is based on the strong field weak field ligands. Okay, tetracyanonickelate 2 is a square planar structure, DsP2 hybridization and diamagnetic nature. Okay, in this complex all orbitals are having paired electrons. There is no unpaired electron. So this complex will shows which magnetic property? Diamagnetic property. If any unpaired electron is there, then that complex will shows paramagnetic property. So in this tetracyanonickelate 2 complex there is no unpaired electron, that's why it is showing diamagnetic property. Okay, while tetrachloronickelate 2 is tetrahedral structure, sp3 hybridization, and this complex shows paramagnetic property because here two unpaired electrons are present, that's why this complex is showing paramagnetic property. The Cn minus ligand is strong field ligand and it forces the two unpaired electrons to pair up. Okay, that is the difference between these two complexes. Okay, next is the drawbacks of the valence bond theory. Mm, Valence bond theory is a successful theory even though it is also having some drawbacks. First drawback is does not explain the color of the coordination compound. Okay, valence bond theory explains only hybridization, structure and magnetic property, but this theory does not explains the color properties of the coordination compound. And second is it cannot explain magnetic behavior based on geometry, and it does not explain why some complexes are inner and why some complexes are outer. mm, Same metal ion in the same oxidation state. Okay, that is also another drawback, and it fails to predict the exact geometry of the complexes with the coordination number 4. Okay, here according to valence bond theory, tetraamino copper complex is there, but same compound tetraamino copper plus 2 and tetraamino copper plus 2, but in X-ray diffraction method this complex will shows two different structures. One is tetrahedral structure and another one is the square planar structure. This complex structure also can't explained by the valence bond theory, so this is also one drawback, and does not distinguish weak field and strong field ligands, and it cannot predict exactly the tetrahedral and square planar structure of four coordinated complexes. Okay, only some of the four coordinated complexes are explained by the valence bond theory. These are the drawbacks of valence bond theory. Okay, we will discuss briefly once again bonding theories in coordination compound. The main bonds are valence bond theory, crystal field theory, ligand theory, and molecular orbital theory. Valence bond theory was proposed by Linus Pauling in 1931, and the valence bond theory successfully explains the structure and magnetic properties of the large number of coordination compounds. Okay. The main postulates of valence bond theory is the central metal atom has the required number of vacant orbitals for accommodating the electrons donated by the ligands, and the number of vacant orbitals is equals to the coordination number of central metal atom. Generally, the vacant orbitals are s orbitals, p orbitals, d orbitals, and f orbitals. And salient and next postulates is this vacant orbital goes hybridization and forms same number of hybrid orbitals, and each ligand has at least one orbital containing lone pair of electrons, and vacant hybrid orbital filled with ligand to form coordination bond. This coordination bond is stronger if the overlap between orbital is greater. The vacant orbitals of the metal atom or ion undergo suitable hybridization and form same number of hybrid orbitals. According to valence bond theory, some of the coordination numbers, hybridization, and geometry of complexes is there. If the coordination number is 2, hybridization is sp, geometry is linear, and example complexes is also there, that is diamino silver complex and dicyano silver complex. Next is coordination number 3, hybridization sp2, structure is trigonal planar, example complex is triiodo mercury. And coordination number 4, here two possibilities are there, one is sp3 hybridization and another one is the dsp2 hybridization. If sp3 hybridization is there, the structure of the complex is tetrahedral. If dsp2 is there, the structure of the complex is square planar structure. And coordination number is 5, hybridization is dsp3 hybridization and structure of the complex is trigonal by pyramidal. If coordination number is 6, hybridization is d2sp3 or sp3d2, the structure of complex is octahedral. Examples are hexacyanoferrate complex or hexaamino cobalt complex or hexaaminoferrate complex. If in hybridization n-1 into d orbitals are participates, then those are called as inner orbital complexes. If nd orbital is participates in hybridization, then those are called as outer orbital complexes. Okay, in inner orbital complexes means low spin complexes or spin paired complexes. Outer orbital complexes means high spin or spin free complexes. When strong field ligands like NH3 and Cn minus are involved in the formation of complexes, mm, the electrons will get, if any unpaired electrons are there, that electrons will get paired up. This process is called as spin pairing process. And structure of complex compounds based on valence bond theory, structure of nickel tetracarbonyl and formation of tetrachloronickel and structure of tetracyanonickel, structure of hexafluorocobalt complex and structure of hexaamino cobalt 3 complex. Okay, first is formation of tetrachloronickel 2 complex. Here in this complex, central metal is nickel. Around the nickel, 4 chlorine ligands are present. Here nickel atomic number is 28, and oxidation state is +2. The nickel electronic configuration is 3d8 4s2. After the formation of nickel +2 ion, we have to remove 2 electrons from the 4s orbital. So after electronic configuration of nickel +2 ion is 3d8 4s0 4p0. So here vacant orbitals for hybridization is 1 4s orbital, 3 4p orbitals are participates in hybridization. Okay, because 4 ligands are present, so metal should accommodate 4 vacant orbitals. Here 4 vacant orbitals are sp3 orbitals. So these sp3 vacant orbitals undergo hybridization and form 4 hybrid sp3 orbitals. Okay, next, these 4 chlorine ligands donates 4 pair of electrons to the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals and form 4 bonds. Here 4 chlorines are donate 4 pair of electrons to the sp3 orbitals and form 4 bonds. So here sp3 hybridization is there and 2 unpaired electrons are there. So this complex is showing paramagnetic property and sp3 hybridization. So this complex geometry is tetrahedral. In same tetracyanonickelate 2 complex, we will see here also same nickel atomic number 28, electronic configuration 3d8 4s2. After formation of nickel +2, we have to remove 2 electrons from the 4s. So electronic configuration is 3d8 4s0 4p0. But here cyanide Cn minus ligand is the strong field ligand. In presence of strong field ligand, these 2 unpaired electrons will get paired up. So after pairing of electrons, one 3d orbital is also vacant, empty orbital is there. So this is also participates in hybridization. So in this particular complex, one 3d orbital, one 4s orbital and 2 4p orbitals are participates in hybridization and form 4 dsp2 hybrid orbitals. These 4 dsp2 hybrid orbitals receives 4 pair of electrons from the 4 Cn minus ligands and form 4 coordination bonds. So here hybridization is dsp2 hybridization. Then the structure of the complex is what? Square planar structure. And here all electrons are paired electrons. So this complex will shows diamagnetic property. Okay guys, that is the difference between these two complexes. Both are same, central metal is nickel and coordination number is also 4, but the nature of the ligand is different. Based on that nature of the ligand, these two complexes are showing different hybridization, different structure and different magnetic property also. And drawbacks of valence bond theory: this theory does not explain the color of the coordination compound and cannot explain the magnetic behavior and does not explain why some are called inner and why some are called outer complexes, and fails to predict the exact geometry of the complexes and does not distinguish weak field strong field ligands, and it cannot predict exactly the tetrahedral and square planar structure of 4 coordinated complexes. Okay students, this is about today's session. Hope you understand. Thank you.